It's time to find out who's going to take gold here in the compound women's individual competition here in Lilleshall at the first leg of the European Grand Prix. Time to meet the contenders.
Representing Luxembourg, Mariya Shkolna. On target 2, representing Great Britain, Ella Gibson. Your line judge for this match is Mariya Shkolna.
So there we have it. On target number 1, Mariya Shkolna from Luxembourg, 25 years old, world number 13, taking on world number 1, Ella Gibson from Great Britain. Now, if you just went by ranking, you'd have to favour Ella Gibson, but we've seen Mariya Shkolna perform so well in the mixed team competition. She is going to be up for this challenge, and she will shoot first in this compound women's individual final.
Thanks. Ten. Nine. Nine.
So far, matching each other arrow by arrow, and it doesn't seem like they're planning on giving each other just an inch of leeway.
Ten. So both archers.
High quality start here in this compound women's gold medal match. Shkolna carrying on the form that she showed in the mixed team competition, Chef.
Yeah, the mixed team competition in which she was also shooting against Ella Gibson, together with her teammate and against Ella's teammate. So they have shot against each other earlier today, and they have got a taste of the venue already. So they don't have anything to hide anymore, sort of.
They certainly don't. It gives us a tiny little bit of a chance to talk about this bid for World Archery getting compound into the Olympic Games. That's potentially a massive moment for both of these athletes.
Yeah, especially looking at that it's getting closer and closer, because they put in the bid for LA, which is in 5 years already. So they're almost getting into that, Olympic cycle that us recurve archers are used to. So yeah, I'm sure they will hope for it, and it will be interesting to see if it actually comes through.
Yeah, and they've put up the biggest possible bid for it in terms of showing a difference between recurve and compound. The compound bid is for indoor archery on a much shorter range. Here, though, going for gold in Lilleshall, Shkolna and Gibson tied at 29 apiece.
Nine. X10. 10.
Good recovery. Now she just has to stick as close to Ella as possible until the end, I guess.
Eight.
Both dropping low over the last couple of arrows. Let's see how Gibson responds here.
Yep. 10. So with
So, Chef, it's only 2 points, but it feels like a bigger swing than 2 points.
Yeah, on the other hand, looking at Ella's second arrow, there was also a bit of a hiccup, a bit of a stumble maybe. So that showed some vulnerability to Mariya as well. So she might be like, okay, she can also miss arrows, and we can see how far we can get here. So obviously Mariya is in this underdog role in this case, where she's shooting against. Is it still the world number one, or?
Yeah, she's still world number one.
So yeah, you can only in Ella's shoes right now. You can only lose this match, or you can do what is expected of you. Whereas Mariya can only win this match because she's shooting against a world number one. That's at least one way to look at it.
Yeah, incredible rise through the ranks over the last 18 months for Ella Gibson.
Yeah.
Trying to maintain her composure there, Shkolna. So 2 points in this as we go into end number 3. Shkolna trailing 56 to 58. Some reassuring words from the coach, saying like, yes, it's a 9, but it's okay. I feel like there's a little bit more wind on the line right now than there was before. It's still not crazy wind. It's not like they're being blown around, but sometimes you'll see that piece of string on the stabilizer of Ella just wavering around a bit more. Yeah, it's a good point there, because there is a little bit of movement, and what's curious to me is it looks like Gibson is almost, I don't know whether it's part of a process, but she's kind of moving her bow hand up and down when she's at full draw. It's only, we're talking millimeters here, but it looks like Shkolna's going left-right, so it's sort of lateral versus vertical in comparison to full draw.
It also has to do with technique a little bit, where Ella is more of a slightly leaning back type, whereas Mariya is more straight up, kind of. So it's they have different styles, different techniques, and that will result in different aiming patterns as well. So where you put your balance on your feet and where you put your shoulders in regards to your hips and feet, that will all have effect on how your aiming pattern is. And what's difficult, or what's often overlooked, is that aiming is actually a movement. These archers are not aiming in the middle and just staying in the middle with their side pin. They'll always drift a bit, and typically it'll be like maybe like in the figure of 8, or it'll go like up and down but not left or right, and it's very personal. And obviously you want to have the aiming pattern to be calm and small, so you can stay close to the middle. Um, Preferably it will just be at least calm. It will not be twitchy, because that's difficult to take into account. But as long as it's just moving a little bit and not moving a lot, then you're fine.
9.
Just dropping a little low there, Shkolna, at the start of the fourth.
Ten. 10.
Get a good view of the spirit level there. Archers don't want to, as you call it, cant the bow, turn it sort of leaning left or right.
9.
Yeah, that one you could see that she knew that was going to go to the right and maybe also go down or go low, and you could see it or recognize it by the fact that she tried to throw her bow left and up a bit.
10 for Ella Gibson.
The thing is, it's the first part of fixing the problem is recognizing that your side was not in the middle, but then the second part is actually fixing it, and I think that's a bit late in finals like this, and she'll know that. Mariya has experience in these kind of situations, but 4 points to overcome in one end to go against the world number 1 is highly unlikely, but she will probably do everything in her power at least to make it happen.
Yeah, I said after the second end that 2-point swing felt a bit more than that, and you were quite right in saying that Gibson's second arrow was a little bit dodgy in that second end, but Gibson has slowly but surely just pulled away, and that fourth end was a big turning point.
So with those scores confirmed and Mariya trailing Ella by 4 points, Mariya will shoot first on target 1 in this.
And we're back in the situation where you can put pressure on your opponent if you're shooting first, but it's difficult to put pressure on an opponent that's so far ahead, and she'll know that all she needs to do is shoot everything in the gold and she'll be good, which for Ella, shooting everything in the gold is probably a walk in the park.
Yeah, perfect 30 for her, 2 10s and an X in the last end, but Shkolna still in this match, shooting first in end number 5.
Nice job.
10.
Yep. Cool.
10.
Just.
Yeah.
10.
Good job.
Yeah, she's doing exactly what she needs to do. Just shoot strong shots and hope that Ella has a slip up. But yeah, like I said, there's a reason she's the #1 in the world right now.
9. Nine, maybe 10.
Looked a 10 to me for her first perfect, and a 143. But as you can see, there's room for error here.
9.
Gibson going for gold and getting gold. It was a close one in the end, and Shkolna closed the gap in the final and 5th end, but Gibson just too strong, put it in the bag in the 4th set and then sealed that bag up in the 5th to take gold in the compound women's individual competition here in Lilleshall.
Ella would still